Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again, and welcome to the Roads with Bo. So, today we're going to be talking about all this stuff behind me. So, we will be talking about the live stream, how all of that is progressing, and all of the developments with it. And then we also have some Q&A stuff that will go along with this. And from what I understand, I guess we're doing the Q&A because there were a bunch of, quote, messages that had questions about community networking or loosely activism. So we'll be going through those. Okay, if you have no idea what any of this is about, over on the main channel, every year we do a fundraiser for domestic violence shelters. We focus on getting gifts for teens who are in the shelters over the holidays. And we get them tablets, a case for the tablets, earbuds, and then like a Google Play card and a Hulu card. That's what's in the bags behind me. And we've been doing this for 5 years or so. And the excess funds, we get other stuff that the shelters need. This year, it went really well for a number of reasons. We did well with the fundraiser. The cost of the tablets has actually dropped, and there weren't as many teens in the shelters, which is always good. That's always good. So we had more excess funds. So we this year we're helping provide holiday meals as well, that's new. We've never been asked for that before. And then the other shelter that we help out, they asked for kid tablets. They have like a rubber like case, so they're like bouncy. I guess they're really hard to break. And those will be used like while the parent is like filling out paperwork, putting together their resume, doing the workshop stuff, all of that. So there's something there. The reason we focus on tablets for the teens is because when they enter a shelter like this, they don't normally have all of their possessions. Their entire world has been turned upside down, and they don't have a lot of control. The tablets give them something that's theirs, and even if it's only an 8-inch screen, they have control. It gives them a window into something else, and it has been well received, so we're sticking with that. The reason we normally don't do stuff for the younger kids is because there are other organizations that focus on that. Sometimes the teens kind of get left out. Okay, so we have all the stuff that you see behind us. And there's actually more food and stuff off screen. There's hams and stuff like that just didn't seem like it'd be a good idea to put back there. And then on top of all of that, we will be giving a check to each shelter for $3,000 or $4,000 each. So, very successful year. Everything went well. Now all we have to do is deliver it. Okay, so moving on to the Q&A. If you're going to do one of those videos where you show all the stuff you bought for the shelter this year, can you be more clear on why you show it? I work in a shelter and think it's to show the variety of need, but you only actually say that and stress the communication aspect in one of the videos you've done. Fair enough. Yes, that's why we show it. There are 5 of these videos now. If you look, the excess stuff, it's never the same. We've never done holiday meals before. We've never done car seats or high chairs. I don't know if you can see those. The needs change every year, and that's true in every shelter. there are some things they always need, like detergent. And with a DV shelter, it's normally scentless detergent. They normally need socks, stuff like that. There are some things that are pretty much always in need, but they may not be in dire need. So if you have funds, when you're looking and trying to figure out what to provide for the shelter, don't guess, call, which is what we do. We go through and we get what we focus on, the tablet bags, the bags you see back there, and we put those together. The excess, we call them and ask them, what they need, and then we get it. We don't try to guess because it is never the same. One year, every shelter that we were doing something with, they all needed cleaning supplies. It was just nothing but cleaning supplies. Another year, they had us out buying bras because that's not something that gets donated. It changes, and most times shelters don't have a lot of storage space, so you want to focus on their immediate needs. If you have that kind of funding, or if you're trying to get it and you're putting stuff together, make the call and find out exactly what they need. We've been doing this for years now. We would not have guessed that they needed car seats, high chairs. I don't know if there's any back there, but they also needed candy for stockings. We wouldn't have guessed that. There's no way we would have guessed that. We wouldn't have guessed about the tablets for the younger kids. So, yeah, the communication part is very important. It's, to my way of thinking, it's smarter to find out how much excess funds you have and then make the call. Because it gives you a clearer picture, Okay. You recently did a video on the main channel talking about medical debt and how St. Paul bought a bunch of medical debt and then forgave it. Would you be open to the idea of having a live stream where the internet people can raise funds to buy up medical debt and then forgive it? I'm open to it, but I honestly don't know anything about it. I really like what they did. I thought that was an amazing use of funds and the way it got leveraged, but I wouldn't even know where to go buy medical debt. I have no idea how that works. We can have somebody look into it maybe and see what we can do. As far as the live streams go, we are looking into something else because our live streams are now hitting the amount necessary to set up an endowment, which, if you don't know how they work, the short version is the organization that's being helped, they get a smaller amount of money up front, but they get money every year, forever. And it definitely, it creates a longer impact. They would be getting funding after I'm gone, which, that seems really cool. So that's something we're looking into. But yeah, we can see what we'll find out about medical debt. Okay. I want to convert my beliefs into action, as you say, but feel like none of the usual forms of activism are accessible to me or fit my strengths. As someone who lives in a rural part of New England and has not that much time outside of work, hardly any money, and minimal social skill, how can I affect change locally? Are there any roles that are often unfulfilled that might be well suited for someone like me? Okay, so, it depends on what you mean by minimal social skill. Can you phone bank? There's that. And it depends on what your skills are. If you're like a white collar worker, most places that are like, quote, legit nonprofits, like 5013Cs, they generally need help there. If you're a blue collar worker, every place that has a building needs maintenance and needs stuff done, and that's stuff that doesn't require social skills. And it's, generally speaking, stuff like that is stuff you can do when you have time. There's every skill is needed by a cause that you support in your area. It's not always easy to find it, to find your place, but once you get there, it's fulfilling. And sometimes it's as simple as, they need somebody to run errands. One of the reasons that we don't just like hand them all of the excess in a check is because then they would have to run around and try to go get all this stuff. And we can do that for them and just relieve one more burden that they have. Generally speaking, any organization that's doing good, they're normally not well funded and they don't have a lot of time. There's always something. If the situation you're describing here, I would look for the cause you support and then contact them and ask what they need. And just ask them to go through a list and be like, hey, I am willing to help out. Let me know what you have. The good thing is, generally speaking, organizations that are trying to better the world, they're pretty understanding of different people's abilities and what they are comfortable doing. And they're normally pretty willing to work around it. Okay. Can you give a shout out to the town of Maryville, Missouri? Today, the new Nottoway Humane Society, the local no-kill shelter, caught fire. Because of the nature of the fire, animals had to be evacuated and could not return until sometime after Christmas, when the building can be approved safe again. The call went out on Facebook. 40 animals needed foster homes for the holidays. Within hours, all the animals were placed in foster care. That's cool. That is definitely a community coming together. And it's also going to be cool because I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot of foster fails, like the foster horses. So, I mean, the animal's going to be hanging out with a family over the holidays. I don't feel like they're all going to be coming back in January, that's cool too. Okay. Hey, Bo, I'm a non-binary 22-year-old and I have a trans friend who's very much the archivist type. Considering you and her have a very similar archivist drive, if you have any general advice for her in terms of how to best use that drive and manage the mental health struggles that come with it, I'm sure she'd appreciate it. Note, and this is from the person who put the questions together. It says, note, there's another question in this message, and since you would answer with, I don't know, and then ask me tomorrow, just tell her to check out good, good, good. And it's all one word, and I have no idea what that means. So, okay then. All right. As far as being somebody who is methodical and seeks a bunch of information and tends to kind of file it all away, a key part is acknowledging the wins. You have to acknowledge the wins, and you have to keep track of something else. If you are, as an example, a lot of the content on the main channel is about foreign policy. Right now, I am super unhappy with how things are going. And that's why you are getting videos about, a win with the Catholic Church progressing. You're getting more videos answering questions about information consumption, because those are things that they still keep me in the game, so to speak. I'm still archiving the information and all of that, but it's a palate cleanser, and with what I do, it's good for y'all as well. But it's also a necessity if you're covering something and it's just all bad news. And if she is, I'm having to fill in some blanks here because I feel like part of this message got deleted. But if she is the person who's keeping track of all of the developments for your community and letting all of your friends know, which is the role that somebody with this personality type is going to kind of naturally fall into, there's she's going to need the same thing. There's going to need to be a palate cleanser, something that can not just be a win when it comes to the topic that she's focusing on, but also a break from that topic when there aren't wins to be had. So that would be my advice. And it's funny me saying this again, but remember, you can always take a break. You can always take a break. Whatever it is that you are focused on and you are studying, you are archiving, you are gathering the information so it can be provided and people can act on it. Whatever that issue is, it will be there when you get back from your break. Okay. I'm on the organizing committee for an activist group that is on paper decentralized. As the name organizing committee suggests, no, it isn't, right? In practice, I could draw concentric circles with one person at the center lashing out aggressively at any disagreement. For reasons both ideological and practical, I highly value decentralization. How do I work towards making that a reality? Okay. Generally speaking, the person who ends up at the center is somebody who is good at planning and logistics. They're not always great at implementing, though. It is wise, in my opinion, to have people who take the lead on various projects. And again, when you're talking about decentralization, you don't necessarily want the lead on that project to always be the lead on similar projects. But having somebody who is who's kind of the person that is expected to be making those moves, it's important, and it helps alleviate a lot of the personality conflicts. Okay, this says a fun one to end on. I have been watching your stuff for over a year now, and I know you're a Jeep person like me. I have a Wrangler 4xe, and I love it because I only get gas 4 times a year. I think you would love it too, since you love the environment. My question is, what kind of Wrangler do you have now? And do you plan on getting a 4xe in the future? Yeah, I have an ancient TJ. And yes, I would love a 4xe, which, for those who don't know, it's like a hybrid Jeep. I just want to, I want to see Jeep people Jeep it up for a little bit and see how well they hold up. But yeah. Okay, so that looks like it. And I hope that answered your questions. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.